Gerard Healy now, and he has with him Bob Hammond.
Thanks, Peter. Yes, we've got Bob Hammond, and he is both the chairman of the Adelaide Football Club and also chairman of selectors. Bob, any trouble wearing the two hats?
Oh no, I think that it was important from day one. I was involved from day one just to have seen both functions through, and obviously they're both difficult tasks, but I believe that we're handling them all right.
Bob, at the end of the season you can take 4 uncontracted players from the other AFL clubs. Who have you got in mind?
Well, first of all, we've got to establish who's uncontracted, then look at our own priorities, and specifically no one at this stage. We're well aware of all of the ex-Adelaide boys' form and positions, and we'll just have to assess that a bit later on.
Well, the big word in Melbourne, of course, is that Stephen Kernahan has already been spoken to and in fact signed in some corners. Is there any truth in that rumour?
Well, we'd love it to be true, but there isn't any truth in it, no.
Well, this season the Crows have drawn 300,000 people to Football Park over there. Would it be fair to say that perhaps you've erred in coming in and leaving it so late to come into the competition?
No, I don't think so at all. I think that we needed to have the conditions that we're now playing under. Adelaide has always wanted a side in under reasonable and fair conditions, and we've now got them, and consequently we're in.
Looking at today's game, what do you think the Crows can salvage out of this?
We're going to get a very close look in a minute because they look like they're going to bounce the ball.
Well, I think we'll usually get about another 30 seconds. What else have we got?
Well, I just think that what we've got to do is salvage something out of the last quarter. We've just got to keep bending our back and learn something out each week that we play.
Do you think you'll be able to slot one from here?
Yes, I do.
Thanks, Bob.
Gerard, I think Bob Hammond got the last word there. Good on you, Bob.
Gerard, to get off the ground, he'll get a big laugh.
Final quarter of Victoria Park, 83 points. The Crows trailing by 18-11 to 5-6. Well, they'll certainly remember their first visit to Victoria Park. Starcevic knocks the ball down. Maynard, not a clean possession. It comes out to McDermott. Out it goes wide to Jamison, who kicks from a standing start up towards half forward. Marking contest out there, and the little fella, Tony Shaw. Guts and determination personified, takes the grab inside his own defensive 50-metre line. Francis the target, best man on the ground, and Francis takes that good mark on right centre wing. A high bomb to Mullane, who doesn't let him down. Collingwood doing as they like. This is Lehman over to Scott Russell, and he and Francis have really blitzed them around the ground. Hughes in front, out to Smart. He'll get it back to Hughes, and Hughes with the clearing kick kicks it towards the centre wing position. Jamie Turner and also Mullane. He left it for Mullane onto Gaper, and Collingwood seemingly doing as they like. Christian to Krasiska. A beautiful kick, a mammoth shot, and just off target it hit the post. That went every bit of 60 metres. The first score of the final quarter going to Collingwood to make the difference 84 points. Danny Hughes kicks in 18-12 to 5-6.
Tell you what, the crowd would have erupted there. The U's and R's as the ball went through the air were enormous from the Collingwood fans.
Well done, Tony McGuinness.
To this near side, Marshall. He's caught by Russell. Kerrison has the football and eventually handballs it further afield, about 10 or 15 metres into the pocket. Manson can't do much with it, so we'll have a boundary throw in about 40 metres around from the Collingwood goal. 18-12 to 5-6. Ruckman, Starcevic, McIntyre. Ball come down towards Russell. Gathered now by Bickley. He just ran out of bounds, and the boundary umpire very close to the action there. And Maxi down on the boundary line. What's happening?
Well, Adelaide Football Club's been fined $500 to $1,000. The team manager didn't inform the AFL official of an interchange move in the third term.
Kick there by Francis. Chance now for Richardson. High ball into the goal square, but it's punched away there by Danny Hughes, and over for a boundary throw in the right forward pocket for the Magpies. So with 22 3/4 minutes left, the margin is the only guessing work that we've got in front of us at the moment. Micken, McDermott, ball near Lee, but he leaves it to go over. Another boundary throw in.
22.5 minutes left. McDermott on the lifty side, flanking at the moment 5-6 to 18-12. Micken and Manson had a great duel all day. Manson's probably done better in that regard. The ruckmen haven't really had a dominating effect on the match this afternoon. It's been the little guys of Collingwood who've done the damage. And Paul Williams seems to have damaged an ankle or something there in that contest. He gets up a little bit proppy. Smart over the top and goes for the boundary line again. So the boundary umpire will do it once more. Tony Francis handing it back. 26-5 he's had today. And Scott Russell 21-12 into fine contributors. And players almost just going through the motions out there. The Magpies always hard to toss here, as the Crows have found out. Manson and Micken again go at it. Kerrison, McDermott pressures him, and the ball rushed through for only one behind. So at least that'll get it out of that pocket. 21.5 minutes left in the match. 18-13 to 5-6 as Alan McAllister looks on interestedly. Daddy Hughes kicks in. Some light rain again starting to fall here at Victoria Park. At the back is Shane Kerrison. Onto Gaper. Jarman's tackle just a trifle late. Christian tries to tap the ball forward. Jarman has given away the free kick, and it will be taken by Christian at centre field. And with the wind behind him, it sort of sprung up with these clouds coming across. He doesn't go for the long bomb. Tony Shaw gets into space, tries to get the hand pass out. Good tackle by McIntyre, and the ball comes to Smart.
Oh, the ball's in the clear.
It was in the clear. The umpire, I think, heard a little bit then. Maybe Tony Shaw a little slow to get rid of that.
So the ball up about 35 to 40 metres from the Collingwood goal. Up high there was Richardson. Couldn't tap the ball clear, and still a crunch of players having difficulty in moving the football out. Lehman tried to kick it out. Now a chance for Scott Lee. A hand pass wide. Mullane, a kick across his body to the front of the goals is not too bad. Marking contest here. Where can Collingwood do with this football? Chance now for McGuinness to get clear, and he does so. Nice little pass finds Jamison. Handball over the top finds Bickley. Bickley's handball in turn to McDermott. McDermott shares it away with McGuinness. McGuinness's kick. Gee, that breeze must be strong. That ball went hardly anywhere. Now Starcevic away to Tony Shaw. Tony Shaw's kick up towards half forward and holds up in the mud there. Bickley comes away with the foot. He just gets his foot to the ball and kicks it, but it breaks down. Tony Shaw, good vision. Handball to Krasiska. He kicks it all right normally. This is no exception to full forward. Out comes jumping Jimmy Manson, and he marks about 35 metres out. And boy, do the Collingwood fans enjoy the antics of this big fellow.
Well, he's playing in the forward pocket and has done in the second half, Manson. And he's just too quick for Mick, and he plays at centre-half forward as well, so he has got a bit of mobility and a little bit of speed to hold those positions down.
Doesn't mind kicking a goal either. That's straight through the centre for his third.
Manson's third goal. McIntyre taps down. Ball comes out towards the centre wing position. Turner gets the front posse. Kelly, good hand pass. Onto Russell. Francis, the two best players on the ground. Manson, or can he make it 4 goals? This shot will be a little bit more difficult because he's on the angle. The fans are liking it, they don't mind the run.
Well, he was in front. Now, when he was breaking there, Tony Francis, look, see Manson in front of Micken. He's got to learn Mark Micken to get in front. Maybe they should make a change, get McIntyre into the back pocket and Micken back on the ball, the Crows.
He'll need to aim for the right goalpost. He's done that. It's coming back, and he gets it. So 4 goals to Manson, 2 in this quarter. Collingwood 20 goals, 13, 133. Adelaide 5-6, 36. And Adelaide still has not scored a goal at the other end. In fact, their sum total down there to date is 1 behind.
Well, they have made the change actually. Now they've got McIntyre for full back on Richardson, and Hughes has now gone on to Manson, and that was a beautiful hook, wasn't it?
Would it make any difference how many changes they made?
Well, it doesn't, but at least they've rectified a fault. Now Micken's back in the centre for this bounce down.
So is the ball. Francis gets it out again. This time Jamie Turner's on the end of it. His long kick up towards, in fact, inside 50. Williams racing for it. Lee gets caught. Morwood can kick a goal. 35 metres out. 45-degree angle. Manson almost again. The juggle wasn't quite there.
Being held. Hughes against Hughes.
It's going to be a free kick, so he'll get his third for the quarter. This will be the third goal that Danny Hughes has given away from a free kick, if he kicks it. So Manson for number 5. It's the angle he has to kick at. Could not possibly miss, and doesn't. It's a goal.
At Foodland, we take a great deal of pride in our sponsorship of the Adelaide Crows, because we believe that one South Australian team deserves the support of another. Foodland, sponsoring the Adelaide Crows, a great match of two mighty South Aussies.
So with plenty of time left, Collingwood just go marching on. 21 goals to 5. It's probably not beyond the realms of possibility that they kick 30 goals. Marshall kicks Adelaide towards half forward.
Marshall's hurt, he was laid out.
Comes away with the football from half back. Kicks it to half forward. Starcevic there. Good punch away by Tasca. And Tasca hasn't done a bad job for Adelaide in his first game. Only had 7 kicks and 2 hand passes, but at least he's shown a bit of desperation.
Well, that's bad marking by Klug. Now, he shouldn't allow his man Kelly to come in and hit a fellow like that.
Oh, filthy as he put that man under some pressure. Bickley, is it, under the pack? Good tackle applied by Russell, but gee whiz. I don't know what Grant Filkey thought Bickley was going to do with the football, but he accepted the hand pass. Between wing and half forward, favouring the Magpies. Up over the top, Starcevic, McGuinness, Williams, Brown. Hand pass. Not bad play there by Starcevic. At least got it out into the open. Chris Siska overran it. Jarman. High hand pass. Smart's going to get caught. Gets the hand pass away. McDermott. McGuinness tries to do something with the hand pass, but forced to kick with the right. Up towards half forward. Punched away by Collingwood again. And Kelly, on all fours, thumps it over the boundary line. And I think that was what was missing in the Collingwood performances earlier in the season. Desperation, and they've certainly shown that all day. Christian, Brown, Kerrison, left foot kick by that player. Should be marked, and is, by Smart, just backward of centre wing. Smart playing on Shane Morwood. Maybe with the rain, the wind may have dropped a little. And the kick goes towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Everyone leaves it behind. Filkey goes back after it again. Chipping in as Mullane. Very determined, Darren Mullane. Off to Brown. Turner. At the back. Little kick off the ground here would be advantageous. Oh. No. Left it for Micken. What did you think, Don? Jamison. And eventually Micken out of bounds on the full. So now you get a chance, Don. What did you think of that little bit?
Well, Jamie Turner slipped over at the critical moment.
Oh, beautiful. Diplomacy of the first order. The free kick will go.
You're a man of adjectives. I've put a few down. How would you describe this as an annihilation, a debacle, a massacre, a landslide? How would you describe it, Ian?
Something that Adelaide people probably aren't enjoying watching. The ball at half forward for Collingwood, and McGuinness will clear across to Filkey.
Filkey on the Tasker. Just off the edge of the centre square. He's gone out towards half forward, looking for and finding Hart. Getting pretty dark here at Victoria Park. Hart with an up and under kick against that breeze. Still pretty strong. Mullane in front should be paid the mark.
There's a good one too, Peter.
Darren Mullane from centre half back. Out wide, he's got a couple of options there. McEwen and Francis, and they combine. Doesn't mind a run, Ronnie McEwen. 20-metre hand pass, inboard to Gaither. Gaither gets around McGuinness. Kicks to half. Oh, Richardson missed one that he certainly should have taken. Gets offloaded. Russell kicks at goal and could get a score. But the wind taking it just wide of the behind post. Richardson seems to be okay. He's kicked 5 goals, so he can wear that.
Do you think he was surprised with the way the ball carried, young?
Well, I was just looking at Bickley. He was also hurt with Richardson, and he got straight on his feet. Bickley, that was a good play because Richardson's still hurt.
Hughes kicks out to Micken. Oh, it's a pretty awkward sort of a disposal, and it's over the boundary line.
Now that's interesting. Dacos coming back on, Shaw off. Now Dacos hurt his ankle, went off the ground. Now if you're coming on, you can't have hurt it too badly. And Shaw coming off. Now I wonder if Shaw's fit.
Well, Dacos is running okay. He did limp off though, as you mentioned. McDermott. Pretty hard to get out of that pack. And finally kicked away by Bickley up towards the interchange area. Klug racing for it. Can't get a handle on the ball. Good block by Kelly. Klug's kept the ball in play, but to the advantage of Collingwood. Gaither to Lehman. Lehman kicks long. Micken sets himself for the mark. Starcevic comes down with it. No player played it by the umpire, and that was a good decision. It's going to be a Collingwood free kick, though, just the same. It will be taken by Shane Kerrison, I think. Dacos has got it, but I don't think it's his ball. Kerrison to take the free at left centre wing. McDermott stands the mark. He's got in short. Christian from 55 metres out, kicks long into the goals. Manson a juggle, almost a mark. Rushed through for one behind.
Actually, that was good play by Kerrison, because Christian Mann, who is Micken, went down for the long kick. He spotted Christian, and that was exceptionally good play. Really does put pressure on Micken and sows that doubt whether he should go back or forward. 104
points the difference. Hughes kicks in, smart over the top. Micken again, this time chips it short, and Marshall takes the ball inside the square.
Marshall forced to kick with the left foot up towards centre-half forward. No mark taken. Turner's the first to recover. Hand pass goes wide to Russell. Russell, who's knocked up, getting the footy to Mullane. He's had a few possessions. Round onto the left foot goes Darren Mullane. A long kick in towards full forward. No mark taken. They're a chance again. Kerrison's tap on. Looking back there for Brown, but eventually Adelaide clear through McGuinness, who's worked tirelessly against the odds, and he pushes it over for a boundary throw-in. Tony Shaw apparently is just having a rest, but, well, Don Scott has made mention of the fact that Dacos went off with a crook ankle. There's a good mark, taken by Brown.
He is one of the best marks, if not the best mark in the league, and I know it's a big statement when you've got fellows like Stuart Lowe, but this man certainly has got all the attributes needed to take a good mark. 17 kicks and 17 handballs. And he's taken his 10th mark. Well, he averages about 9 to 10 marks a game.
And 2 goals.
Oh, he's a good player.
And I think he's probably resting now in that forward pocket. Kicks it high. The wind is going to bring it back a little bit, but not far enough. So it's through for 1 behind. 2 goals, 2 to Gavin Brown. That Collingwood scoreline of 21-15. Adelaide a miserable 5-6.
Lee on the left half-back flank for the Crows. Crows along the ground, a real grubber. Jamison looking for the front possession. Ball scooped out of the pack and picked up by Darren Mullane. In the road, though, is Jarman for the Crows. And Jarman quick to get boot to ball. Kicks it towards the centre wing position. Gaither went for the spoil, then comes down with the ball. Gets it to Dacos. He's moving okay. Francisca, a good solid performance from him. Kicks to half forward. No mark taken. Back it comes to McGuinness. It was Richardson spilling it. Jarman again at midfield. The Crows still to kick a goal. Marshall was down at the other end, that is. Marshall was the big flyer in that pack. They've only scored 1 behind down there. Not really good enough. Jarman again. Might have given away the free kick in the back.
Kick. Took his eye off the ball and just went for Kelly, Jarman.
Terrific play by Craig Kelly.
Kelly hand pass. Francisca. And again a long kick to within 35 metres of goal. Kerrison, a hand pass. Brown, snapshot. He's hooked it too much, and only 1 behind to Gavin Brown, who's kicked 2 goals, 3 now, has he?
That's
2-3?
2-3, yep.
Out of 21-16, so 142 plays 36. A difference of 106 points. Hughes, he's been busy today down there. He won't be cold. Manson, front position. Bickley at right half back, chips the ball short, and Jarman takes it, gets it back to Marshall, who's certainly tried hard all day for his side. Marshall's kick over the head of Liptak. Turner will get there first. Started on the bench, but has done everything right since he came on. Centering kick, strong mark taken by Christian, stood his ground well. Troy Lehman in front of Filkey, kicks inside 50 down towards half forward. Strong mark again to Gavin Brown.
Gee, there was a statistic back here at half back that won't be registered in any of the newspapers. The shepherd by Craig Kelly to give Turner a clear path was terrific stuff.
He doesn't waste the ball here, does he, Troy Lehman? He uses his hands well. He's always looking for someone.
Gavin Brown to add to his tally of 2-3. 36 possessions so far, which is not a bad afternoon's work. Francisca getting into space and taking it easy.
Actually, that was a great camera shot there to actually see what Brown was doing just prior to his kick. He really did. The eyes just wandered for that section, and he saw Christian and then spotted him with the ball.
231 kicks to Collingwood so far,
just watch this in replay.
59. And the handball's 149 to 102. So wherever you look, Collingwood well on top. Francisco will get the distance. The accuracy looks okay, but it's only one behind.
Pretty hard to read. That goal umpire didn't even look as though he moved, did he?
Didn't. 143, plays 36 under 9 minutes.
Danny Hughes to kick the ball back into play. Completely annihilated Adelaide in field play. The Magpies. There's a mark taken out there by McIntyre on the 50-metre line. Called to play on. Not a bad kick into the breeze, but a mark there to Kelly. He plays on. Shares it away with Mullane. Back to Kelly. 3 possessions between those 2 players. Kelly's kicked to half forward, and the mark was taken by Starcevic. Nearly kicked this, Craig Starcevic. Set it up with the breeze. Long drop punt kick to the square. No mark there to Richardson. And through to the Magpies for another behind. So we'll put that down to Craig Starcevic, who kicked 2 behinds before he kicked a goal in the 3rd term, and now has 1 goal 3 against his name. Hughes kicks to this near side. Christian, good punch from behind. Lehman's a chance once again, but just got his shin to the football and knocked it over. 19 years of age, Troy Lehman. 18 years of age, Mark Richardson. And 18 years of age, Paul Williams. And of course, we've got Jason McCartney. Here's Dacos. Oh, look at the magician there. At work.
Dacos is second and Collingwood's 22nd. Starcevic up high. And there he is again. Dacos in front of Hocking, who plays tunnel ball with it. Bickley gives it back to McDermott. Easy.
4-on-1.
And it comes to Williams, but there is a whistle.
There's a free kick. Interesting. Shepherding, the umpire said.
Hard to take the free kick. Only 8 possessions to him this afternoon. It's for Hodges. He's been fairly quiet, predictably. They still haven't got a goal down there. Dacos, who was moving okay. Paul Williams. Francis called for it, but he had plenty of options, as Collingwood have done right throughout the afternoon. Ward was the target. Hand pass comes out to Kerrison from Francisco. And he gives it back away to Tony Francis, who's been brilliant. A little bit quieter perhaps in the last quarter. Richardson and McIntyre. None can bring it down. Manson, what's he going to do with it this time? A big pack of players down there. McGuinness over to Jarman. Jarman kicks long to centre wing. Francisco over the top of Marshall. Gaper reads it well at the back. Maynard rides him into the ground. Nothing for it from the umpire. Crowd was looking for a free kick, and that's out of bounds. On centre wing, next to the interchange area. 6.5 minutes left in this match. I was going to say contest, but it hasn't really been a contest since half-time. Collingwood simply too good for the Crows today. Marshall has played well, though, up to the 50-metre line, and they'll come away with it again. Williams, what a future he has. Great player. And this young fellow, 23 kicks to Lehman, 30 possessions, and down to Mark Richardson. So the youth of Collingwood combining there superbly. And Mark Richardson has kicked 5 goals.
This is a great build-up. I'm impressed with Williams, the way he's got very little aggression, the maturity he shows. Lehman doesn't waste the ball. And this young fellow, when he lifts a few weights and gets a bit stronger in the upper body, he'll be a player as well.
From 48 metres out, is off target. Allowed for the win, but allowed just a little bit too much. And 1 behind was the result. 5.5 minutes left, 151 to 36. It's been, is a good percentage booster for Collingwood. That could be important in the run to the post. Bickley takes the mark in front of Shane Morwood. On to Jarman. Jarman still inside his defensive 50-metre line and kicks out to Tasker on right centre wing. And that's a good kick. It finds Klug, who marks right.
He was gone. He was gone.
The umpire said, yes, you've got to play on. He gets it to Jamieson.
And the Adelaide Crows still scoreless in this last quarter. The Collingwood defence, lousy.
Oh, it's a
Kelly,
free
that
kick.
could have been a throw, yes. And the umpire very close there, Craig, so it was always going to be a troublesome one once you lift it in the air. They've kicked 1 behind up to this right-hand end, the Adelaide Crows, and that was in the 2nd term.
It's a SWAT squad. All those men dressed in black.
That gentleman trying to get them all out of the road's got a job in front of him. Chance for lip tack. Not a bad kick, but it hits the post. So at least they've kept their average up. They've now kicked it behind in each of the second and last quarters into the win. Ronnie McEwen, 4.5 minutes left. Collingwood defence. Mean, black and white fighting machine. McEwen comes to this near side. Marking contest, gets to the back. Starcevic, a little flip over the top. Unselfishly, Krasiska gives it to Francis. Francis's kick, pretty ordinary in the finish. Goes through all players. Richardson, can he get his sixth? Handballs at the back. Smart. Kick off the ground by Morwood. Brown, left foot, snapshot by Gavin Brown. Close to the line, through for a behind. 2 goals for to Gavin Brown. Magpies 22-20. The Crows 5-7. And Danny Hughes to bring it back into play. Kicks to this near side. Mickens in good position. Should have been paid the mark.
Oh, well done by him.
Away comes Bickley. Marshall. Short kick. Going to be broken down there. Kelly. Strong. Good pass too. Francis. Has he had a picnic? Tony Francis coming up for kick number 31. And 7 hand passes as well as 3 goals. Best on the ground. There's a mark to Collingwood. Richardson. Only 30 metres out on a slight angle.
Michael Christian back on centre wing's got cramp. As we see there, a little nudge out. He's certainly got a football brain, this fellow. Being a big fellow, they take a little while to mature, so his body really hasn't filled out yet.
Oh, another very ordinary kick. Young fellow would be disappointed with that. And he's kicked his 3rd behind. So after kicking about, 5 straight, he's kicked 3 behinds in a row. And he had 9 kicks, but it's certainly been something to kick to.
7-4 last week, so it's a good effort in consecutive weeks.
Under 3 minutes left. This is Dan to be pretty pleased. He's watching in the stands this afternoon. McIntyre in front. Nobody can take the mark. It comes down to Lehman. It's around McGuinness. Shoots at goal. Is off target. Another behind. So academic to the overall result. 22-22. 44 effective scoring shots to 12. And that probably tells us something. It's Victoria Park worth to the Magpies. Marshall goes out wide to Lee. And he's kicked to the centre wing position. Kelly. Lehman gets around 3 Crows. Kicks to half forward. Manson's on his own. And he decides to go for a run. Marshall won't catch him. Ball coming around. And Hughes has marked it just on the line. Looks for John. Always puts in a pretty good performance. No exception this afternoon. Gets away from Morwood. Not the greatest of kicks he'll ever deliver. Either Lee in front of Francis. I think we both agree unanimously best on the ground. McDermott soccers the ball further forward. Up to Hodges. Beats McDermott. Turner goes off the ground. Onto Dacos. Shrugs one tackle from Marshall. Breaks clear. Goes for the spiral punt. A magnificent kick into the square. 2 Collingwood players are there. And Richardson has taken the mark.
And the field umpire is 80 metres behind play after that kick.
Magnificent torpedo punt. Here it is. Look at that. Covered a good 60 metres, maybe more. And he shouldn't have any trouble kicking another goal. He doesn't. 6 goals to Richardson. A magnificent mark after that torpedo punt kick by Peter Dacos, who himself has 2 goals after having his stints on the bench with a sore ankle. He's certainly moving okay now. 160 plays 37. Starcevic, that's as good as a kick, that punch. They might get another goal. Scott Russell off the ground. Morwood just couldn't quite make ground to get there. And Scott Lee does the tidying up work for the Crows.
Chance now for the Crows to get out of half back. Here's Maynard. High kick by Maynard. Goes towards half forward. 45 seconds left. And a good mark taken by Williams. Transfers play to this near side. And as confident as ever for a young 18-year-old player. Bounces it twice on the slippery ground. And then kicks with the left foot towards the wing here. Lehman can't mark the football. Kerrison and McGuinness. McGuinness on the bottom. Tap. Williams is there again. Filkey over the top, nearly rode him like Roy Higgins, but Gafer takes it over. And we'll have a boundary throw in on the players' interchange area. perhaps only another passage of play left in the game. Boundary throw in, Ruckman there, Klug in front, Francis. Left foot kick by that player, Russell, can't quite mark. Jarman gathers that awkward ball, and left foot towards centre half forward, and it's all over. Collingwood win comprehensively, 23-22, 160, Adelaide 5-7, 37.
I've never seen so many police and security guys jump out of the fenced area too as soon as the siren rang to keep the crowd at bay, and they're staying over the fence this afternoon too, so the idea is working, and that's good for the players to get off the ground without interference from the public, so the AFL will be pleased with that, and Collingwood would be pleased with the scoreboard, because a comprehensive win, they've really boosted their percentage, which could be all important in the run home to the finals, and the Magpie players being given a standing ovation by the crowd. They'll be pretty happy with that. Repeating the final scores, Collingwood 23-22, 160, defeating Adelaide 5-7, 37. 22, 160, totally outplaying the Crows, who did not score a goal for the day at the grandstand end. In fact, their sum total down there was 2 behinds. Don Scott's Lee Matthews will be pretty pleased, but obviously Victoria Park, as it has been for some other clubs, not a happy hunting ground.
No, but I thought that the trend was set very early in the game, and I'd be interested to see the centre breaks, or how many times they got the ball out of the centre of the Crows as against Collingwood, because the first bounce down, it showed that Collingwood were very, very determined. The way they manned up, I evidenced Graham Wright on Matthew Liptak. There was a real hungriness for the ball that Collingwood displayed, and they went on. And it's interesting to note that the best quarter was probably the first quarter for the Crows, and you quickly look at those stats, and they're all dominated by Collingwood. Look at the centre breaks, 22 to 10, but 22 points the first quarter, and from then on they averaged 1 point in the second, 13 in the third, and 1 point in the last. Adelaide, it really wasn't a good game. They should have rung the bell a little earlier, because all they were doing was chasing tails all day, Adelaide, and they didn't have too many guys that could really hold their head up high. In fact, I couldn't find a good player for them in the second half. Collingwood, well, I suppose the South Australians did well for them. Francis, Russell, Lehman, you got a Western Australian, Christian. They had a lot of good players.